This is the beginning of Unit 12. Unit 12 just has 4 skills, so quicker one. And I'll start with the definition of volume, which you probably know about. This isn't anything entirely new to you, I don't think. But volume is the amount of 3D space that a solid takes up. And the important thing in this unit is that when we're done with our answers, we want to make sure that all of our answers are measured in cubic units. So maybe it's feet cubed, centimeters cubed, inches cubed, etc. Because we're no longer talking about the two-dimensional area, but now the three-dimensional volume. So we'll go ahead and get started with 12.1, which is volumes of prisms and cylinders. We'll put these two together because they're very similar. All right, so the volume formula for prisms and cylinders is very simple. It's V equals B times H, where B is the area of the base, just like it was last unit, and H is the height of the solid, also like it was last unit. So not nearly as difficult as surface area. You just need to find two things, multiply them together, make sure your final answer is in cubic units, and you're good to go. So we'll just go ahead and do a couple examples, and then you should be able to practice from there. So example 1 takes some time to sketch this shape. We're going to shade the bases and then find the volume. And actually, before we do that, we're going to name it. So just a little review from last unit. It looks like there are 2 triangles and then 3 rectangles. So we need to find the bases. Those are going to be the things that are not rectangles. So here and here. So it looks like we have triangle bases. So it's going to be a triangular. And then since it has those rectangle sides, it's going to be a prism. All right. And then I kind of already did, I did outline the bases, but we'll highlight them, we'll shade them. So here's a base. And here's a base. So that was step 2. And then we're going to go ahead and find the volume. So when we find volume, we're just going to write down the formula. We need base times height. So first thing is to find the area of just one of those bases. Okay, and in this case, our base is a triangle. So I'm just going to put a little T there just to remind us that we're finding the area of a triangle. You don't have to do that, but I think it's kind of nice so that we kind of keep ourselves organized. So we're going to find the area of a triangle, which is base times height over 2. And in our case, we have 6 and 8 for our base and height. Okay, remember base and height of a triangle are always going to come together to form a right angle. And those are the two that make up that right angle. So we're going to do 6 times 8 divided by 2. And I know that 6 times 8 is 48, and 48 divided by 2 is 24. And I am going to go back and fill in my units, 24 inches squared. Okay, so we got the area of the base. Now we don't have to multiply that by 2 because that's not part of our formula. We just need the area of one base, which we have. Okay, then the other thing we need is the height of the prism. And the height of the prism, another way that you could say it is you could say it's the distance between the bases. I'm going to have you write that down. Distance between bases. So now that we have our bases highlighted, I think it's pretty easy to see that the distance between those two highlighted bases is 4. So our height is 4 inches. Okay, so now when we go back to find our total volume, we have our base, which is 24 inches squared, times 4 inches. And I left the units in there to show you why it ends up being inches cubed. Because we have inches squared times inches, so altogether we have inches times inches times inches 3 times. So our final answer is going to be in inches cubed. And then all that's left for us to do is to do 24 times 4, which is 96. So final answer, volume of the triangular prism is 96 cubic inches or 96 inches cubed. And then we're ready for our second example, which is a cylinder. And a cylinder is going to have that exact same formula. Okay, area of the base times the height. Okay, now in this case, our base, the shape of our base, is a circle. It's not a triangle this time, it's a circle. So the formula for area of a circle is pi r squared. So in our case, pi times, well, they gave us the diameter was 4 yards. So our radius is going to be 2 yards. So pi times 2 squared. And then I'm going to just hop on Desmos here and do that. I had it open over here. So pi times 2 squared is about 12.57. And technically that would be yards squared. All right, and then the height is this distance, this 7 yards. So our height is 7 yards. I realized I never shaded the bases on this one, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do that quick. I'm gonna grab a highlighter. Our bases are circles, like so. I think that kind of helps when you're finding the height. All right, so now we can go back and find our total volume. So we just need to do our base, which was 12.57 times 7. I'm going to make sure to do my units at the end. So I'm just going to go back on Desmos, multiply that answer that I had. I'm just going to do it right up here, times 7. And we're going to get about 87.96. And then again, that's in cubic yards. That is our total volume. So hopefully that one goes okay for you. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know and I can help you out.